Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Speak Loud podcast. As you can tell, today is a bit different. Not at the studio setup, home office or office setup. I'm on the road actually today, headed to an event. Got a little bit of a drive in front of me, so I wanted to make sure it's very important to me that we stay on the schedule that we've been on for the podcast. And if watching the video version of this is giving you motion sickness, then please, you can go watch or listen to the audio version if that is easier for you. I understand that it's going to be shaking a little bit, like right there. I've got my phone set up on a mount. I'm not holding it. For those of you that are concerned about me recording video while I'm driving, do not worry. The phone is set up. It is out of my way. It is not in my view or peripheral, should I say. So do not be concerned. But I'm going to try to make this one a little bit shorter today. As you know, I try to provide a piece of my brain, a piece of my knowledge, whether it be about marketing or advertising or a specific type of marketing or advertising. AI, we've talked about a lot lately. Fun fact, we're in the middle of building an AI course that is going to be available. It is essentially done. We are doing two versions of it. There is a written book that we have written, and that workbook is essentially done, ready to go. But we're also doing a video walkthrough version of it as well. So the things that we're teaching in the book, you can actually watch us do it live and kind of go step by step or module by module. Both of those things we're hoping are done by the end of next week, and then we will be able to put it out there, promote it, and release it. It's going to be super affordable. We did not want to mark it up a ton, but we did want to there's a lot of misconception about AI. If you watched our previous podcast, you'll know that. And we're taking you through just not only like suggestions, but actual execution. So we're providing you prompts in this workbook that you can go and literally copy and paste and put them in and start implementing some of these things to generate content, to save yourself time, to get organized, to really use AI for what it's built for. And kind of our tagline for the program is stop playing with AI and start using it. And we want to see business owners and entrepreneurs really kind of unlock the power of what they could be using AI for over just creating cartoon versions of yourself, which is awesome, but there's so much more that you can do with it. But today, I want to talk to you about some best practices. We are obviously really big on content creation and showcasing and telling people stories and helping them do that and ensure that they're doing what they need to do on these specific platforms. Everybody gets a little nervous because there's so many different platforms, and where should I be? Where should I not be? Do I have to do all of them? All of those things. So we're going to kind of give you best practices for each of those platforms, and really the things that we would recommend that you do, and kind of the cadence and what to put there and things like that. So I'm going to start with the freest one, the one that probably most of you have, or you launched as soon as you opened your business or as soon as you were able to get it approved, and that would be your Google Business Profile. You can call it Google My Business. That's what it was previously called, but Google Business Profile is what we call it, or GBP. It's free. You don't have to spend anything to get your GBP set up. There are some parameters in terms of, strictly online business is tough. If you do have a brick and mortar, that makes it very easy. If you have an actual office with an address, it makes it easier. If you want to use your home address, you can do that. You can also make that address hidden. There are some complications there in the sense of you're hiding your address, so people can't see the location-based kind of people finding you. Is a little skewed. It's still supposed to use that kind of city and zip code that you've entered to put you in that kind of sphere of people searching, but we have seen for sure that it's absolutely limited compared to someone that does have their address showing. Google may not say that or let on for that, but we've tested these things. I would never tell you something that is just an assumption, or if I do tell you an assumption, I would let you know that it was an assumption. This is based on experience. This is based on us trying these things and doing them different ways and seeing the results come back from those. So you can create a Google My Business profile if you do have an online business, but you're going to need an address of like your corporate headquarters or things like that. What we have seen, and everyone wants the answer to this question, and to be honest with you, I do too, because I've seen it go both ways. I have our Google rep. We have a dedicated Google rep that we're asking some of these questions, and they're supposed to be getting us those answers. The challenge is the answers change. But what I'm getting at is you being able to go down to the UPS store, USPS, get a PO box, one of these mailbox stores where you can just buy an address. It's like number 1073 or 183, and it's like just a mailbox inside of some business. There was a time where people could do it and there was no issues. Then there was a time where you could do it, but then you ran the risk of your Google business profile being shut down, because they would find out that it actually was not your business's address. You were renting a mailbox. And then now we're seeing it again with them not being shut down. So my concern, as always, is that if they decide that it's no longer allowed, or they decide to get more enforceful with the rule, then you run the risk of like whatever work you've put into your Google business profile and the reviews and things like that, it getting shut down. So I would err on the side of caution. If I get an update, I'll share that with you. I'll be happy to make a new YouTube video or short update video, obviously post it on our socials, and let you know that, hey, we got the kind of thumbs up or thumbs down on here's what to do and how to do it in specifics, because I think really the specifics are what matters when creating those and making sure that they don't get shut down. This is the last thing you want to do. But Google My Business Profile, best practices is you want to have the correct phone number on there. You want to ensure that your website is connected to there. If you do have brick and mortar and office, you want to make sure your address is in there. That way people can navigate to you should they want to. Next steps, those are all kind of basics. We call it name, address, phone number, or NAP, is that you want to ensure those things are consistent across every listing that you have on the internet, whether it be Good Contractor List, Google, Facebook, Yelp, Yellow Pages, if that's still something you vibe with, but anywhere that you're essentially listed, you want to make sure those things are consistent. The only variation there is some companies choose to use tracking phone numbers on these different platforms because they want to know where the call is coming from. Did this come from Yelp? Did this come from Google? There's some leniency there. There's not a right way or wrong way to do that. We have recommended and set up both. So if you want to know where every specific thing is coming from, it depends on what the client wants is how we answer that question. Do you want to know for sure that this call came from Yelp or Google or paid ads or this or that? Like, we can set those things up, and sure, it will give you the deep dive into those metrics. But if you're just more concerned about, I want to make sure that like calls are coming in general, then just use your main phone number. But beyond that, like, what else do you do? Your Google business profile should be treated like one of your social media platforms. Google allows you to upload photos. It allows you to upload videos. And of course, it allows you to collect reviews. And these are all things that are best practices. I think that the biggest miss I see on the Google business profiles is photos and videos. Is like, you have these photos and videos, or you don't, and you need to be getting them, but you're not uploading them. Like, you'll upload them to Facebook, maybe Instagram or LinkedIn, or maybe even YouTube if you're like crazy adventurous, or TikTok. But very rarely am I seeing like good uploads to Google business profile. Some do a phenomenal job. I see a lot of restaurants that will use it very well. But when you get into like contracting space, home services, service providers in general, like, I just don't see a lot of content being posted on Google business profiles, because I think it's just one that it just gets forgotten. And your graphics that you're creating, say in Canva, if you went through our course or you know how to create graphics, those graphics can be put on Google as well. Your Google business profile allows you to put offers out there, allows you to put, say, discounts or certain promos that you're running. You can add those things to Google, and everyone that is searching in your area for duct cleaning or landscaping or roofing, like, they can see not only your photos but your videos. They can see your reviews. They can see if you have any specific offers or things like that you're throwing out. It should be treated just like any other social media platform. You should be posting content regularly, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. The only thing it costs you is some of your time, investing some of your time and energy to ensure that you're also putting some updates on Google as well. Google is a huge traffic source, and you would be shocked by the amount of views that your photos will get and your videos will get being on that platform. We got an update the other day from a automotive shop that we work with that they had a photo that just surpassed, I think it was like 3 million views. It's incredible, like that their business is out there that way, whether people are image searching or location searching, and that business is pulling up and that photo is being filtered to the top, and therefore referring people over to that business. So do not sleep on Google Business Profile or Google My Business. Make sure you have that set up and have it created. Post content to it regularly. Explore the offers tab. It's hugely important. Last but not least, in terms of Google Business Profile, you need to be asking for reviews, and you need to be asking for reviews multiple times. And in the best case scenario, you need to be asking for reviews on an automated basis, meaning that you are using a third-party platform, whether it's something we built, we have others that we recommend that you can use to automatically request reviews, and it's automated. It has text features, email features. So for example, you imagine you finish a job, and if you have the right integrations, you can make it even easier. You finish a job, say in the home services space, you flip that job to paid in full. Automatically it's going to send a text and or an email. You can set the parameters on timing and frequency and messaging. So you say, hey, thank you so and so. It's going to mention my name. We really appreciate you helping us, or allowing us to come in and assist your family or your business. Would you do us a favor and click this link to leave us a Google review? You can add in meta reviews too if you'd rather than leave your review somewhere else. You can connect different platforms, and you can even decide, I want this one to be the premier one this month, or this one I really want to focus on building meta reviews, or I want to focus on building Google reviews. But it has automation there to where, like, if they click the link in the text but they didn't fill out the form, then it's going to retext them a few days down the road. If they don't respond to the text, it's going to send them an email. It just allows you to remove yourself out of it. There's going to be some people that no matter how many times you text them, email them, call them, whatever, they may not leave you a Google review. They're just not review people. I think if you push them enough and you genuinely did a good job for them, then they're willing to, if they're reminded, they'll go leave that review for you. So get Google reviews. You should have it in any kind of packets that you give your clients. If it's a closeout packet or final receipt or invoice, or it should be in your email signature. Your staff, if you have staff that interacts with customers, they should be asking the clients to leave you a Google review. It's just so important, and the reason most people don't get Google reviews is because they're not asking for them, and they're not asking for them frequently enough. They're not reminding their customers. They feel like, well, I don't want to bug them or blah blah blah. Like, you did a good job for them. You did a good job for them. They paid you. They were happy. Why would you not take the extra step to ask them to leave you a Google review? You can do any type of incentives and things that you want there. Google has some rules around what you're supposed to do and not do in terms of reviews, but I've seen a lot of companies, we've set up some of the campaigns where, they're doing incentive for their staff. Hey, if you mention our staff in the review, then we're running this contest. It gets the staff more incentivized to go out and ask their customers for reviews. They might even go back historically and ask for reviews. But I've seen incentives towards the consumer. If you've worked with us and you can save 25% off your next thing, or you get $5 off, or you can get a Starbucks gift card. I've seen it done a lot of different ways, and all are fine. I don't think there's any right way or wrong way to do that. I think that, be cautious of where you're putting it out and things like that, because Google does have some rules. I do not think that you should just pay random people for reviews, because that's not honest, and it's fake, and I don't think you should do that. You should be honest. I think you should have some integrity. But ask for reviews. Birdeye is another one. I mentioned review platforms. Birdeye is one that we've recommended, that I actually did demo testing of it when it first was released several years ago, and I've implemented it in multiple companies. It's fairly easy to set up and do, but it's the one that allows automated, like, texting and email and reminders and things like that. It's a great platform, and it's not very expensive either, which is always super helpful and important. Kind of moving on, let's talk about Meta. So we're talking about Meta, which is really Facebook and or Instagram. What you need to be doing there is, like, we always try to tell people that you need to, if you've gone through some of our trainings, you'll see some of this, or if you're watching this podcast, you're getting it for free. We obviously go into more detail in, like, Speak Loud Academy about these types of things and give better examples and show on-screen examples as well. But on those platforms, you need to come up with what we call content buckets. Those are essentially your categories for the different types of content that you are planning on posting. An easy one, a low-hanging fruit, is like a review spotlight. We spend so much time talking about reviews. do you get, like, we call it user generated content, or UGC, is like that person leaving a review for you just gave you an additional piece of content. So if you have a Canva design or a graphic design that is like a template already built to showcase these reviews, you can either copy the text out of the review, take a screenshot of the review, however you want to do that, put it inside that graphic, and then export it. You have this new review spotlight, because not everyone is seeing those Google reviews. Some people that go and look are seeing them, but when you post them out to your social media, now you're bringing more attention to that Google review. So we highly recommend doing review spotlights. Service spotlights, also super low hanging fruit. What do you do and what do you offer people? Let's highlight that. If you're a restaurant, highlight a certain dish or an appetizer or a dessert. If you are a home services contractor, highlight a specific piece of what you do, whether it be flooring or tile or renovation or restoration or bathrooms or kitchens, or you can go down the laundry list of the different things that you do, and you're going to pick something out that is a service spotlight. Another one that's pretty easy is staff spotlights and reviews, and birthdays and anniversaries. So think anything staff. If you have a work anniversary, you have their actual birthday, you have a new team member, you have a spotlight you want to do where you just kind of cycle through them, that gives you great content that you can use over and over and over and over again. Because what we teach about content is, just because you posted that guy's photo this week doesn't mean that you can't post it again in 6, 8, or 10 weeks and cycle back through them, because the people that saw it 6 or 8 weeks ago probably aren't the same people that are going to see it 6 or 8 or 10 weeks from now, because of the way the algorithm works. So those are super low hanging fruit. I would share community involvement. I would showcase if you're members of certain networks, if you do any type of give backs, if you do any type of just community impact that your company has, whether it's collectively with another group or just individually, is I would document those things. Here's the trade-off, is what I'm going to tell you to do is that I'm going to tell you to do some of these things with video. So service spotlight might be a video that you gathered a clip at a specific job that y'all were doing tile work, or you were removing beads, or you were serving up a certain dish. So like, instead of a static photo of this cheesecake that you're going to spotlight, it's a video of that plate being set down on a table. It's 5 seconds long. It's just showing that cheesecake going out. That is going to perform a lot better than that static photo of that cheesecake, sitting on a table or back on the counter. That little bit of motion and that cheesecake sliding into the frame is going to perform better. It's statistically not even close. It's like, you are going to see higher engagement, higher view count off of that video being posted, specifically vertical video, what we call reel format, or anybody calls reel format, which is just up and down. It's vertical. Whereas this video you're watching right now is landscape, side to side. Because I want you to flip your phone up, and I want you to shoot it vertical, and I want you to post that thing, and you don't even have to worry about a fancy graphic or anything like that. Dessert spotlight this week is, this caramel cheesecake, delicious. To have AI or chat help you come up with a sexy way to talk about your cheesecake. I don't know how else to say that. If you can't come up with the words, have Chat GPT or AI help you come up with that. You can even give it a photo of it and tell it to describe it to you. So I would recommend vertical video, staff spotlights. I think those can be graphics. If you wanted to step up a notch and take that graphic and turn it into an animation, meaning like some things move around on the screen where it would count as a video, then you can do that as well. But I don't think there's anything wrong with interjecting static graphics from time to time. I just know for a fact that overall, big picture, video will perform better than static images. But these are the things from a business perspective. Going a step further into your content buckets, people want to be entertained and they want to be educated. Like, that's the two main things. Like, honestly, the things we just talked about, staff spotlights, things like that, the general public doesn't really care about those things. They may care about it from perspective like, oh, they have more than one employee. Like, they're not a chuck in a truck. They've got these people that work for them. Or like, grandma sees it and she hearts it, but then because she hearted it, a neighbor saw it that actually needs those services. So like, there's merit to it. But in general, people are on social media. They like to be educated. They like to be entertained. They like to feel emotion on social media. So is I would interject some did you knows. Help people save some money. Help people avoid catastrophe. show them how to do this or that, and you may think to yourself, like, well, if I show them that, then like, why do they don't need me anymore? So like, why would you're giving them just because you show, just like I'm doing on this video, is like, I can tell people all day long how to build out effective social media and how to run paid ads. That doesn't mean that they're going to go do it. And even if they do it, doesn't mean they're going to be able to do it at the same level of expertise that I would be able to do it. So they're still going to come back, and you guys do. You're going to come back and go, hey, we did this for a while. We had some results, but we really want to ramp it up. And honestly, I don't have the time to mess with it anymore. I need a professional to handle it. Awesome. Then we'll take it over for you. The same thing's going to happen for you. Give people advice, give people tips, tell them what they can do and not do and what makes the most sense. And it becomes, you become the expert because you have the knowledge, you have the ability, do it this way, don't do it that way, avoid this headache by doing this. Like, you are the knowledge base. And so when they are ready and they need someone in your space and what you do, it's natural for them to come to you and go, hey, you clearly know what you're talking about, and I don't, and so I want to use you for X, Y, or Z. Give them some behind the scenes. People like seeing how things work. We may think the stuff is boring, but to them, it's not boring. It's content. It's things that they want to watch. I use the example, like, if my wife is willing to sit there and watch a reel of somebody taking a rug out of a dumpster and cleaning it, then like, they're willing to watch you talk about those types of things, like behind the scenes. Show them how stuff happens. Explain to people how insurance policies work, how you look at them. Explain to people how the claims process works. You can walk them through these steps and educate them and entertain them to a certain degree. I am a huge fan of this, is taking it up another notch. I'm trying to take you in this progression of, like, we went from the easiest stuff of post your staff birthdays on to show them behind the scenes and teach them something, to give them steps that they can follow. The next level is going to be, you're actually going to come up with content. You are going to write, and you are going to develop ideas and scripts, because people love humor, and humor does extremely well. And when I say humor, it could be other emotions as well. You could have some heartfelt things in there about the story and the company's culture, and how you built it and how you support your family, and those families help you support your family, blah, blah, blah. Go on. Yeah, you can do those things too. But humor performs extremely well. People love to laugh. People love to see bloopers. People love to see staged content. So I would recommend, like, you may not be, you're like, I'm not a content creator, I'm not an influencer, I'm not that. We have trainings that will help you use AI to help you come up with some of these ideas and at least get your wheels spinning, get that little hamster wheel spinning around and around. And then before you know it, you're going to have some of these ideas come to you. Also, watch other companies, see what they do, and how could you tailor that and kind of mold it into what you guys do and make it about plumbing or pest control or pizza. People just enjoy laughing. The most of the content that I watch on social media, like at night before I go to bed, which is like my time to unplug and I'm not doing anything about work or anything, it's like I'm sitting there and like, I want to laugh, I want to be entertained, or I want to be shown something that's cool. That's what I want to see. And so for you to go to that last notch of like, that's what you're creating, then that's the content that goes out, and it will get views. Like, I need you to not be concerned in the beginning with the views, because you have no idea who those 5 views are. And so when you first get those first 5 views and you're like, this is stupid, and I've done it for a week, and I'm just not seeing the traction, I'm spending so much time doing this, so on and so on and so on and so on. The reality is like, you don't know who those 5 views are. Those 5 views, it could be the president of an HOA association, it could be a person that owns 15 houses, it could be like, you just have no idea who those people are. And so I want you to pay less attention to the views in the beginning. I want you to go do the thing. I want you to create the content. I want you to get used to recording video. I want you to create some graphics and understand those graphics and how to do that. When we get down the road, or am I going to tell you to start analyzing and looking at like what video performed better than another video? Absolutely, you should know those things, because when you get to a certain point, it will become more about quality than it is quantity. In the beginning, I really want to see the quantity from you, because I want to see the content going out. I want you to see you start with graphics. I want to see you graduate from graphics to you're doing a video or so a week. And I want to see it expanding. I want to see you really doing what I know can help you on social media. Moving forward, the podcast, I'm going to try to keep it really, really short, because a lot of the things become duplication. YouTube, you can take this same content that we're talking about right now and you can post it as YouTube Shorts. It's short videos. It's 15 to 30 seconds. You're not super lengthy. If you're going to record a video about your entire business story and all those other things, like shoot it like I am in landscape. Put it also on YouTube. You can still upload it to Meta, specifically Facebook. You're not ideally going to put that on Instagram. Instagram, you want it to kind of be short and sweet. But that's what's performing the best right now. These 10-second, 15, maybe max of 30-second videos that you can post to Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. Bonus, you can also upload them to LinkedIn, which is what we have started doing as well. We've started uploading all the clips from the podcast over to LinkedIn because it allows you to do that. Speaking of LinkedIn, YouTube and YouTube Shorts, it's just that. You want to be creating, it's video content. It's 100% video content. Any long format video, if you're going to hire somebody like us to come in and shoot, high-end videography, that's probably going to be wide angle like this or landscape like this, and it's going to be longer than 15 or 20 seconds. So you're going to upload that to YouTube. You can still upload that to Facebook as well. But you're going to have maybe cuts of that are cut into the reels in the vertical format that you also can upload to YouTube and YouTube Shorts. LinkedIn, obviously, it really depends on your space. It depends on your business. It depends on what you're trying to do. LinkedIn for us, it's these. Like, we go in and we post graphics. We go in and we post statistics. We go in and we post review spotlights. We post service spotlights. We post some how-to stuff like we do with these podcasts. We post a little bit of everything. So it's very much a duplication. For some of you, like a financial planner, you might be on LinkedIn talking about how this is changing or that is changing. It might be more of a typed out article. It could also be you sharing another article from, say, Forbes, then you're adding your context to the top of that. I would say LinkedIn really, really depends on what you're ultimately trying to do there. Are you positioning yourself as this like leader coach? Are you positioning yourself like, what is your ultimate objective? Are you trying to get financial planning clients? Are you trying to recruit other agents? Like, what are you ultimately trying to do? And that would tailor what I would tell you to do really on LinkedIn, or what angle to approach on LinkedIn. TikTok is the wild, wild west. I think some businesses could do really, really well there. The targeting is really broad. So like for home services, I think you can get a lot of views, especially if you decide that you're willing to be humorous and kind of think outside the box. I think you get a ton of views, but I think you may also be getting those from like Omaha, Nebraska, and China, and everywhere else in the world. It's just a little broader than some of these other platforms that you really develop a local following. Do I think you should do it? Yeah, I think you should take the views because you never know. You never know who that person is or who they're connected to. Just like we talked about the 5 views on the initial platform, is I think you should take advantage of the views, because you do not know who those people are, where they live, who they're connected to, and you could be missing an opportunity there. So I would say absolutely use TikTok. What else? What have we not covered yet? I think that's the majority of most of them. And that's just what I'm going to recommend. Now, I'm going to say all this. I'm going to kind of summarize this, is that you probably noticed a theme here, that number one, you just need to be creating content. And that could be easy in the beginning. It can be graphic based, and we're going to do these birthdays, and like, I don't mind you dipping your toe in the water. I don't mind you taking a baby step and saying, we're going to start doing this better. Even if it's only a couple of posts a week, like, we're going to start this thing. And then you expand. You go, hey, we're going to do some of the behind the scenes stuff of just video clips. We'll put some little music over it or something. Like, we're not going to talk. We're not going to get crazy. And then we graduate to like, so-and-so is on film and they're talking about, here's why we do this and how we do this and why you should be doing it too. Like, and then we're going to go another step further, and we got into some script writing. We got into some things that are funny that this is what I tell people, is how do you showcase your business? How do you present your service? How do you present your product without people feeling like that's what you're doing? So how can you tell people, as a plumber, can you start a series that's like plumbing nightmares with so-and-so, like, you're telling like some of these stories where it's like you have a flashlight and it's like you look like you're in like a little kid's like blanket tent, and you're telling the tales of the horrible plumbing stories. Like, that's hilarious to me. Like, I would actually, like, that's so much better to be like, let me tell you, you're sitting in front of your truck at a job, let me tell you what's going on at this house today. And like, that to me is more boring than you taking it another step. And yes, it's goofy, and you may be like, I don't want to put myself out there like that. I don't want to stay buttoned up and professional. Well, good. Enjoy your 200 views where the other guy can go get 5 or 10,000 views, because that's the difference. Is if you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone, then you're willing to create content that is worth people watching. Because that's the thing. It's like, I promise you, The people that complain and go, I'm doing this thing and I've done it for 6 months or realistically, you're not doing it for 6 months. You're doing it like for a few weeks or a couple of months, and you're still even at that. One week you're posting 3 or 4 times, the next week you're posting twice or once or none. But the reality is if you are posting consistently and not getting the views, it's because your content sucks and people don't want to watch it. It's not, the algorithm is like, people don't care about this. But you've got to get better. You have to level up the content. If you're going to take the time to create content and to post it, do you not want it to be the best that it can be and get the best result that it can possibly get? Yes and yes. Well, then you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to put a mic on. You have to be willing to get the little flashlight, do the plumbing. Like some of you right now that may be watching this and you're a plumber, you're like, stop stealing that. Because it's funny. It's a way to do what you do. And I'll take you another notch. Like, this is my brain and this is what people pay me for a lot. You're getting it for free right now. If I'm a plumber and I'm sitting on a toilet doing a series, like, that is freaking hilarious. Like, that is so funny that, like, and I'm not saying he has to have his pants off or anything like that, but I'm like, he's sitting on a toilet. He could be fully clothed for all I care. He could have his full uniform on, but he's sitting on a toilet, and that's how he does, like, behind the scene videos or story time or whatever it may be. Like, that to me is funny, and it's taking it up a notch, and the algorithm is going to feel the same. And I know I gave 2 plumbing examples. If I think of another one in another industry, then I'll give it to you for sure. I'll give you one that we did. We did one video, actually did a series of videos where it was like, we don't do that type of thing. And so we did a video to where, like, this business clearly did one thing and it was like their specialty, and it was very apparent what they did by their name and everything else. But then we did all these other, like, tasks or roles or jobs or industries, and they were doing them poorly. So we had, like, we don't do a school teacher, and like the guy pretended to be a kid, was like eating crayons, like he had glue everywhere. We did one where he was like not a hibachi chef. He had like the little griddle thing and he's like making the little spinny things like the hibachi show. He said he wasn't a juggler. He tried to juggle and the balls bounced everywhere. But we tied it all back into, but we do this and we're the best at doing this, and that's why you should shop here. So like it was funny, it was engaging. All the other stuff came first, like we don't do this. And they were failing miserably at all of these tasks. And they were off the wall stuff. It was funny, got a ton of views, got a ton of traction, got them a ton of business. But they were willing to step out. Now, I say they're willing. The staff and the employees were the ones that did it, not necessarily the owner, which you have the benefit of that if you have staff. Sometimes you can just say, hey, this is what we're doing now. We're creating content. You'd be surprised, though, there are going to be some people inside of your organization, if you have a reasonably sized organization, that they're going to go, this is awesome and we love doing this. The people that are going to do best at it are going to stand out after the first few videos, and you probably, more than likely, you could hand that whole thing off to them and be like, okay, part of your job now, give them a raise if you can. Part of your job now is you're to create like 3 to 5 videos a week. Like, if in the beginning you want them to run them past you so you can kind of put your stamp of approval on there, but you just created content that can be syndicated across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'm not even really mentioning X because I don't have a whole lot for you there. It is content, but not a lot of our businesses are utilizing X. We have a couple that just kind of post there to be posted there, but not strategically. So I won't give you any strategic advice on X, except for if you want to be there, post there. But the last thing I'm going to give you, and I hope I didn't beat you guys over the head in terms of like, you've got to be better, but that's just the answer. If I could say nothing else in this video, I can say without a doubt and with absolute certainty that 98% of all business content that is being produced and put out sucks. It's not good. It's very stiff. It feels corporate, or it feels salesy, or it feels pitchy. It definitely does not feel like it's educating me. It definitely doesn't make me laugh. It doesn't make me remember you at all. If anything, it makes me scroll right the hell past you. And that's what I want to help you avoid. I don't want you having people, if you're going to take the time to create the content and put it out there, it might as well be content worth watching. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you. So that being said, do not be overwhelmed by scheduling, because I know what you're already thinking. You're going, Jesus, like we said, we've got to go to Meta. Lord help all of us, because we've got to go to Meta. We have to go to Instagram. He said TikTok. Now he's talking about X. And we got LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts. You do not have to go post to all of them individually. You can use a platform such as Hootsuite. Hootsuite is one of the larger scheduling and bulk syndicating content platforms out there. They're one of the OGs. They've been around forever. They have a ton of features. They're also a little bit pricey, in my opinion. Maybe some of you love it, maybe some of you don't. There is a platform called Metricool, and I can put the links down in the description here on YouTube, but it's called Metricool, metricool.com. And you can connect everything. I think on the like lower tier version you can't connect X, but you can on like the higher tier. But I think for most of them, I think it's $30 a month, $29 a month, something like that, $19. I don't remember the exact price point. We have a much larger account because we have all of our clients inside of there. But you can connect everything. You can connect your website to see analytics from your website. You can connect your Google business profile to be able to post there as well. YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. There are even others that we use. Those are the ones we utilize the most. But I want to say there's like 30 different connections that you can connect inside there. And then you have a calendar view that you can go on. I want this one to go out on Monday at 2 p.m. and I want this one to go out Thursday. You can type the captions. You can select the little cover, which is kind of the first image that shows of the video in the feed. There's a lot of customization to it. You can add the first comment, which is very cool. So like if you were going to include a link and you didn't want to put the link in the text because that's kind of a no-no, but you're like, hey, check the comments for the links, or hey, see our response in the comments. You've seen some of that trend too. You can add that before you're even posting it. You can say add first comment, type it out, put the link, whatever you're going to put there, hit schedule, and when it goes out, it's already going to have one comment. There are some smart links in there. If you're not familiar with smart links or like UTM tracking, there are ways for you to track clicks from different places to different places, and it has that ability in there too, depending on how deep you want to get involved in all the nerdy side of what we do and how deep you want to get in tracking. So that being said, I hope this podcast was helpful. Again, I know I'm on the road today, but it's very important to me to get these out. We're trying to stick to a schedule of once a week. And so for me to be on the road, but to make sure I can get it out was really important to me. So enjoy. Like I said, if you cannot bear with me on this on the video version, I get it. But we are on Apple Podcasts, we're on iHeartRadio Podcasts, and several others. We'll include the link to, I believe it's Buzzsprout, and then it has the links to all of them. But if you use those, I think it's Amazon Podcast or Alexa Podcast. I want to say that's one of the two, but for sure iHeartRadio and Spotify and Apple. I believe, I know for sure that we are there. So if you use one of those and you'd rather just go listen to the audio version because you're tired of seeing my face shake around on the screen, feel free to do that. But as always, look, hey, if you enjoyed this podcast, like, we would love to have you like the video, drop us a comment, tell us what your feedback is, good, bad, or indifferent, or if you learned something. But obviously, we'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. We are big on trying to provide value. If you're interested in ever becoming a client, we would love to talk to you. Obviously, if you're a business that is looking to grow or scale, we'd love to have a conversation with you and see what myself and our team can do for you and your business, whether it be ads or organic or strategic or whatever it may be. We'd love to have that conversation. But ultimately, the point of this is to educate, to give you our perspective, because I think there's so many perspectives that are out there, so many opinions that are out there, some of them right, some of them wrong. And we know about us, we're only going to give you the advice or make suggestions based on things we have tested and we have seen work, versus this is just the new and latest trend. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the Speak Loud podcast, and we will see you guys next